Why is our state still doing it when California is a Democrat-run state, so is Oregon, but Washington is still not lifting mandates?
Oh, with a lot of people asking that question, some Washington school boards are taking matters into their own hands. We're talking about that. Plus, as the Fred Meyer in Richland prepares to reopen after a deadly shooting, we're hearing from employees about what happened that day.
Another beautiful day throughout our areas with ample sunshine and above average temperatures, but cooler temperatures are soon to come. I'll get you prepared.
Now, Cap KVU local news at 5.
Good evening. I'm Alyssa Warner.
I'm Jason Valentine. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Now we begin with, we're tracking the fallout after the Richland school board members voted to make masks optional.
The district is shut down today and officials try to figure out what exactly to do and if they can do that. Cap KVU's Ellie Nakamoto-White has the latest on this developing situation.
The debate on masks in schools coming to a head Tuesday after an executive session with the Richland School District's board featured a surprise item on the agenda.
I would like to go ahead and call for a vote.
That vote leading to a split amongst members, with 3 opting for a mask choice and 2 voting against.
You're violating oaths of office, in my opinion. We are directing staff to violate the law, which I think is illegal for us to do. So I'm a no.
Board President Jill Oldson says she was taken aback.
For it to be brought up in that meeting in that manner, yes, I was very surprised.
While she's still looking for confirmation, she believes the vote could be illegitimate.
Even though the board members decide to cast a vote that says no more masks, teachers are certified in the state, superintendents are certified in the state. If they break those state laws, they risk losing their certification.
That Tuesday night decision is what led hundreds of people to come out to the Richland School District offices Wednesday morning to voice their opinions on what the district should do moving forward.
I think it should be a freedom of choice. I think they are our children and we should have the right to send them to school with a mask or not.
For Tara Smith, a mom of 2, the ability to choose is key.
The school districts have to stand up for the people, and the people don't want masks, then they should just go that way.
You should have the choice. You know, if you aren't feeling comfortable, wear a mask, but it shouldn't be forced on the rest of us.
And grandparents Lee and Jamie DeRoss agree. But for others like Dusty Howard, a registered nurse in Richland, this debate is infuriating.
These are physicians and doctors and nurses with epidemiology backgrounds. This is not a personal choice.
Howard calls the decision by 3 of the board members appalling.
I don't understand why these people think that without a medical background, they can advise the public on matters of general health. If I were to do something and advise the public outside of my scope of practice, I could be held liable for practicing medicine without a license. How come they aren't?
It's not the district who made these decisions. Those individual board members need to be held accountable for their decisions.
In Richland, Ellie Nakamoto-White, Cap KVU Local News.
The state's Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction is now following their emergency rule process when a district willfully violates the mask mandate. They begin with giving an official notice to the district. If after 15 days there is no change, the district will receive a second notice. If 5 days go by with no correction, OSPI will withhold a monthly payment. If there is still no action taken, 2 months of payment will be withheld until finally the district's funding is reduced.
Now, the Richland School Board isn't the first to vote for optional masks in defiance of the statewide mandate. Earlier this week, the Kettle Falls School Board in northeastern Washington voted to make masks optional as well. The Office of Public Instruction sent a letter warning them they could lose state funding if they don't get back into compliance within the next 2 weeks. The Kettle Falls superintendent says he doesn't know of any district that could stay open without state money, but he is hoping that the governor announces a change before the deadline.
There's a change coming, there's a change coming, there's a change coming, and you know, that carrot continuing to be dangled out there with no response or with an unsatisfactory response. And so the school board decided to take action. Moving forward, that's where we are at. Is figuring out, okay, you know, how do we move forward as a team, not only the school district, but the community as well.
Now, since the board's decision, the district has been posting pictures on social media of students in class without masks on. Here in the Tri-Cities, the Kennewick School District is holding a special school board meeting tonight at 5:30. The agenda lists a study session discussing next steps for 2 replacement levies, which were on the February ballot. The latest results show one of those levies passing and one failing. We'll be watching that meeting tonight and bring you updates as we get them. And as we mentioned, any school district that defies the governor's mask mandate risks losing state funding. Now a Tri-Cities lawyer is suing, trying to block that punishment. Cap KVU's Emily Goodell explains.
Washington State Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Reichtel issued an emergency rule in December allowing OSPI to withhold state funding for schools that refuse to comply with Governor Jay Inslee's mask mandate. Now, lawyer Pete Serrano is asking Franklin County Superior Court to step in.
If we're successful in this lawsuit, the proclamations will still stand. They won't be touched at all. This will simply be a court saying, Mr. Reichdahl, you have no authority here to implement these nor to enforce them. And so that's ultimately what we're looking for.
Reichdahl announced last week he supported removing the state mask mandate for schools and allowing local officials to make decisions based on the severity of COVID in their area.
A growing number of districts saying we have to create an semblance of quote unquote normal because the ongoing impacts of this on young people is real.
We reached out to state officials at OSPI who say they're reviewing the lawsuit along with the Attorney General's office. OSPI tells us the emergency rules helped the students learning in person this year, even as Omicron spiked. Adding, public health experts are predicting cases will fall to much lower levels within the next few weeks, and we anticipate action will be taken soon around the statewide mask requirement for schools. Emily Goodell, Cap KVU, Local News.
In addition to the school boards that voted, more than 40 Eastern Washington superintendents have sent a letter to the governor in support of removing the mask mandate.
State lawmakers are moving forward on a proposal that would limit the governor's power. Senate Bill 5909 would give legislative leaders the option of overturning the governor's state of emergency declaration after 90 days. The Senate voted to approve the bill just before the deadline. Lawmakers in the House now have just over 2 weeks to consider the bill and hold a vote. Now, Governor Inslee has said he plans to announce this week when Washington's indoor mask mandate can finally be lifted. There's a press conference coming up tomorrow afternoon, and we'll keep you posted. At the national level, the director of the CDC says she could offer new guidance soon. But even with cases dropping, she says it's not safe to make drastic changes now.
We all share the same goal: to get to a point where COVID-19 is no longer disrupting our daily lives. We must consider hospital capacity as an additional important barometer. Our hospitals need to be able to take care of people with heart attacks and strokes. Our emergency departments can't be so overwhelmed that patients with emergent issues have to wait in line.
The CDC recommends that everyone wear masks in public when there's high or substantial COVID-19 spread. Right now, most of the country is still in that high category.
And as for hospital numbers in the state of Washington, the Department of Health says more than 1 in 4 people in the hospital as of last week were there with COVID-19. That is down from the peak just about 1 month ago when almost 1 in 3 hospital beds held someone with COVID-19. It's good to see an improvement there. Good to see an improvement in the weather. It feels like spring out there.
Again, the spring preview continues, and we do have cooler temperatures, though, coming next week. So let's enjoy these temperatures right now. Let's take a look at our Legend Skycam network. A beautiful midweek. It's already midweek. My goodness, plenty of blue sky, and we're going to have clear skies overnight into tomorrow, but a slight chance of a little bit of shower activity tomorrow, but nothing on the Skywatch radar as we speak. 54 right now in the Tri-Cities, and just plenty of blazing sunshine, and in the Yakima region, 54 as well. So do get ready. Again, cooler temperatures next week and just a slight chance of showers tomorrow. I'll get you ready for that coming up.
Nearly 2 weeks after the deadly shooting inside a Richland grocery store, they're planning to reopen on Sunday. Our Madeline Hagan spoke with some Fred Meyer employees who are grateful for the company's support as they prepare to return to work.
It was a pop, and balloons pop all the time. Second pop, I'm like, well, all right. And then the third pop, I smelt the gunpowder.
Eve Moon recalling terrifying moments from an unforgettable Monday.
Grabbed my customer, and I'm pushing her. I said, there's a gun, somebody's shooting a gun in the store. We gotta go.
Front-end manager Mandy Boyle says she felt helpless, not knowing the condition of her coworkers.
I hated not being able to do anything or feeling like I couldn't do anything.
Boyle remembers frantically calling her colleagues to check in.
And then it was just sitting on the phone watching stuff unfold for hours on end.
Both women say they were devastated to learn well-known Instacart shopper Justin Crumbaugh had been killed and their coworker critically injured.
He called me Miss Eve. He always tied two carts together. He was a go-getter.
In the days since the shooting, Eve and Mandy say the company and community have poured out support. Fred Meyer says they've started an employee hotline, provided counseling from SARC, and emergency paid leave.
They've done a really good job at taking care of us as a store, as a family and stuff like that.
Fred Meyer announced the Richland location will reopen at 9 a.m. on Sunday, and these employees have mixed feelings.
I know I'm a little nervous about it, but at the same time, I know, I have to try to be as strong as I can, especially for my front end employees. Being a manager for them, being somebody that they can feel comfortable coming to talk to if they have, a moment that they need to just step away.
How am I going to feel? And can I really walk through those doors? I don't know. I don't know.
While she's not sure how the return to work will feel, Eve does know she's grateful for all of the support from Fred Meyer and the community.
They're able to really step in and help and have support there for us. I'm a strong person. I think I'm going to be able to do it, but it's going to take time.
For Cap KVU Local News, I'm Madeline Hagan.
Now, Fred Meyer president released a statement saying, in short, their plan is to reopen as a testament to the resilience of the associates and the Richland community. He adds, we're committed to supporting our associates and community as we continue the healing process.
Goodness, we wish the best to those employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wish them the best of luck. Let's take a quick look outside. Folks, will this continue and how long? I'll let you know my forecast coming right up.
And still ahead on Cap KVU Local News at 5, Washington state lawmakers are considering a bill that would limit the type of gun magazines that you can buy in the state. We're hearing testimony from both sides next.